Hello students, welcome to my channel Max My Heartbeat. Students, in the previous video I have started differentiation for IIT JEE, very important topic. So in that video I have explained how you have to know whether a function is differentiable or not by taking its left hand derivative and right hand derivative, and when both are equal and they are finite, then we can say that a function is differentiable. And I have said some conditions for not derivability, that is a function to be not differentiable. Those are when we find a sharp corner in the curve, then it is not differentiable. And I have said that when a function is not continuous, it is also not differentiable, and when we see a vertical tangent, then it is also not derivable. Okay, those are the three conditions for a function to be not differentiable. Now let us move to our next concept, that is derivative using first principle. Finding differentiation, I mean derivative of a function using first principle. This is already there in the academic textbook, but this concept is also very important. So let us see how to find differentiation, that is derivative using first principle. So the formula for finding differentiation, that is derivative using first principle, is f dash x is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x by h. Is nothing but, I hope this is our right hand derivative, right? Both are same. So now here f dash x is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x by h. This is how we have to find the f dash x, that is derivative of a function. For suppose, already we know that derivative of x square is 2x and derivative of sin x is cos x and derivative of cos x is minus sin x and derivative of tan x is secant square x and so on. Okay, so let us see whether these are correct or not by using this first principle. Now first let us take x square. Okay, let us differentiate x square by using first principle. How to do? So example, find the derivative of x square using first principle. How to find out? So first let us take x square as f of x. I am taking the function of x square as f of x is equal to x square. Okay, now if I want f of x plus h, in the place of x what I should write? X plus h. So f of x plus h is equal to x plus h whole square. Okay, so now I am substituting this in this formula, that is f dash x. So f dash x is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of, instead of x plus h what I should write? X plus h, sorry, I should not write again f of here. So x plus h whole square minus f of x value is x square by h. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0 a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab minus x square by h. This x square as it is. So plus x square minus x square gets cancelled. Now we are left with from here only this is solution. So now I am continuing here. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0. Now I am having h square plus 2hx. If I take h common there, h into h plus 2x by h. So here also h gets cancelled. If I apply the limit, I can get 2x plus, instead of h, what is write here? 0. So 2x plus 0 is nothing but 2x. Therefore f dash x is equal to what I got? 2x. Understood? This is how we are finding the derivative of x square using first principle. I hope everybody understood. Yes. Now let us see one more example, that is derivative of sin x. Okay, let us see how to derive sin x using first principle. Okay, the same formula I am using, and I am deriving sin x. Okay, so okay, example f of x is equal to sin x. Find f dash x. F dash x is nothing but differentiation, that is d by dx or dy by dx, d by dx of f of x. Both are same. F dash x or d by dx of f of x, both are same. Okay. So now let us find f dash x by using first principle again. So f dash x is equal to limit h tends to 0. So in the place of f of x plus h, what I will get? Sin of x plus h minus sin x by h. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0. So here we have to use trigonometric formula, that is sin c minus sin d. So what is the formula for sin c minus sin d? So sin c minus sin d is equal to 2 cos of c plus d by 2 sin of c minus d by 2. The same formula I am using here. So 2 cos of, in the place of c, x plus h is there, in the place of d, x is there. So x plus x by 2 into sin of x plus h minus x by 2. So here plus x minus x gets cancelled. Whole divided by h. Okay. So I will continue here. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0. So 2 cos of x plus x, 2x plus h by 2. Can I write like this? Okay. So into sin of h by 2 whole divided by h. So here what I will do means I will multiply and divide h by 2 here. Okay. So that here 2 gets cancelled. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2 into, if I apply cos, if I apply here h value, then I will get cos of 2x plus 0 by 2. So limit h tends to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2. Formula limit h tends to 0 sin h by h, if not sin x by x. This is the general formula. What is the value? 1. So in the same way, limit h tends to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2 is 1. So 1 into cos of, in the place of, already I have substituted no, cos of 2x by 2. So here also 2 gets cancelled, cos x. So 1 into cos x is nothing but cos x. So what I am getting, the differentiation, that is derivative of x sin x is cos x. Therefore f dash x is equal to cos x. This is how we will get f dash x if f of x is sin x. Now everybody understood? So this is how we have to derive, I mean finding derivative using first principle for a basic functions, that is cos x, sin x, etc. Understood? Now let us move to our next concept. I hope everybody understood derivative using first principle. Yes? Okay. So now our next concept. So next concept, derivability. Over an open interval. How to find out derivability over an open interval? What is the meaning of this sentence? So f of x is said to be, f of x is a function. This is said to be derivable over an open interval a comma b. If it is derivable at each and every point of the interval. Means, for suppose I am taking f of x is equal to mod x. Yes, I want to know whether it is derivable over an open interval. For suppose I want to know whether this is derivable at in the open interval 2 and 2 comma 5 or not. Just I am checking the example. I am explaining this sentence. That's all. I am not solving this problem. Just I am explaining. I know that this function is not derivable at x is equal to 0. But let us see from 2 to 5. Okay. At this open interval 2 comma 5 means in between 2 and 5 at every number I should check whether this function is derivable or not. Means at x is equal to 3 this function should be derivable, and x is equal to 4 this function should be derivable. Then only we can say that this function is derivable at this open interval 2 comma 5. Understood? This is the meaning of the sentence. Okay. F of x is said to be derivable over an open interval a comma b if it is derivable at each and every point of the interval. Means in between these two. For suppose I am taking 2 and 5 as the example now. My open interval is 2 comma 5. In between these two, what are the numbers? Middle numbers 3 comma 4. Means at x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 4 this function should be derivable. Then only we can say that this function is derivable at that given open interval. Okay. That is the meaning of the sentence. Let us understand this with our examples. Now just listen, that's all. Okay. Now derivability over a closed interval. So derivable at each and every. Here also this should be derivable at each and every point in this open interval a comma b, and one more point is there here, derivable at end points. Derivable at end points, that is f dash of a plus and f dash of b minus exist. If this exists, then it should be derivable at each and every point, and also at the end points, that is f dash of a plus and f dash of b minus. Then only we can say that this function is derivable over a closed interval. Okay. When it is derivable over an open interval, no need of checking at end points, that is a and b. In between the a and b, whatever the points we are getting, then at each and every point of the interval we should check. But here in closed interval, we should check at each and every point between, and also at the end points, that is f dash of a plus and f dash of b minus if they exist. Okay. This is the derivability of over an open interval and a closed interval. Let us see this very detailed by using an example. Okay. Yes. Example. F of x is equal to modulus of 1 minus 4x square. This is modulus in the interval 0 less than or equal to x less than 1, and denotes x square minus 2x, like this box is given, and 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. Check differentiability. Check differentiability in open interval 0 comma 2, where this box, this brackets denotes greatest integer function. Means this function represents greatest integer function. If this function represents greatest integer function, then there exists some method. That method I will explain now. First, let us see how to solve this problem. So first, let us draw the graph of y is equal to 1 minus 4x square. So first, take x-axis and y-axis. So this is my x-axis and this is y-axis. Now let us see the graph of y is equal to 1 minus 4x square. Without mod. First let us take without mod, afterwards we will take mod. So 1 minus 4x square means if I take x is equal to 0, then y is equal to 1. In between the interval 0 and 1, so I am taking at x as 0 and 1. If x is equal to 1, then y is equal to, if I substitute 1 here, 4 into 1 is 4, 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So if I take x is equal to 0, then y value is 1. So if x is 0, y value is 1. This is the point 1. Okay, and if x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 3. For suppose this is x value, x is 1 and y axis minus 3. Means for suppose this is minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Here this will be minus 3. And we know that this is a quadratic equation. So quadratic equation means we will get a parabola like this. Okay, this is a parabola. But what he is saying means he is giving mod. Mod represents negative value becomes positive value. So this graph will become reverse like this now. Means this goes up to 3 in positive direction but not in negative direction. So if suppose this is 2 and this is 3, then this ends at 1, exactly 1 and y-axis at 3. This is the graph of modulus of 1 minus 4x square. Understood everybody? Okay. Now let us see the graph of x square minus 2x where this brackets represents greatest integer functions. So I'll separately once again I'll draw the graph here. So let us see x square minus 2x in the interval 1 comma 2. Okay. So let us draw the graph here. Now x square y is equal to x square minus 2x. If I am taking x is equal to 1, then y value is 1 minus 2, y is minus 1. Am I correct? 1 whole square minus 2 into 1 is 1 minus 2 is minus 1. If x is equal to 2, then y is 0. Okay. So if x is equal to 1, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis. X is equal to 1 means this is x is equal to 1. Y value is minus 1. For suppose this is minus 1. So here my point is. Again if x is equal to 2 means this is x is equal to 2. Y value is 0. So again my graph will be like this. This is also a parabola, right? So this will be my graph. Okay. But what he is saying means this is a greatest integer function. Yes. Greatest integer function and this value lies between, and the greatest value of this is 0. So f of x belongs to, yes, 0, greatest value. Why? Because here it is not extending after 0. So this is the greatest value and least value is minus 1. So minus 1 comma 0. Yes, but he is saying the greatest integer function. So I think the value is minus 1. So let us see whether we are getting minus 1 or not. For suppose I want to take in between 1 and 2 one number, that is 1.5. So if I take 1.5 whole square minus 2 into 1.5. Okay, 1.5 whole square is 2.25 minus 2 into 1.5 is 3. So anyhow we are getting minus 1 point something means minus 1. So the value of this function is minus 1 means unique value. So the graph will be changed like this now. Greatest integer function means unique value. The graph will be like this. The same graph if I draw here from minus 1, for suppose this is minus 1. Yes, the graph will be like this. Yes. Now what we need to do means check the differentiability in 0 comma 2 where. So now we have to check the differentiability at 0 comma 2 in between 0 and 2. Anyhow this function is discontinuous, right? This is cutting here and this is extending from here. So here this is less than 1 means here we will get a circle and here we will get a dot. Means this is a closed, this is an open interval and this is a closed interval. Okay. Now what we have to do means let us check the differentiability here. So here in between 0 and 1 we are getting means at 1 by 2 exactly we are getting a sharp corner, right? So means this function is not differentiable at x is equal to 1 by 2. Am I correct? Yes. So f of x is not differentiable at x is equal to 1 by 2, and at 1 we are getting discontinuous. So at x is equal to 1 by 2 I am getting sharp corner, and at x is equal to 1 I am getting discontinuous function. So on the whole this function is not differentiable. Understood what I said? For this open interval, whatever the points we are getting in between, there at each and every point we should get that function to be differentiable. But here in between 0 and 2, 1 by 2, at 1 by 2 we are getting a sharp corner, so that it is not differentiable, and at 1 we are getting discontinuous function. So these two are reasons for this function to be not differentiable. Everybody understood up to here? Yes? Okay, let us move to our next example. So what is the next thing? Okay. So next example, not next concept, that is one table is there. The table is theorems of derivability. Theorems on derivability. So I am taking here two functions, f of x, g of x. So let us see the addition and subtraction and multiplication and division of these functions, whether when they are derivable or not derivable. All those functions are satisfying the given conditions or not. F of x plus or minus g of x, f of x into g of x, or f of x divided by g of x. So now if my first function f of x is derivable and my second function g of x is also derivable, then definitely f of x plus or minus g of x is derivable, and also f of x into g of x by f of x by g of x are also derivable. Yes, only when the condition, only in one condition, that g of x is not equal to 0. When g of x becomes 0, then only this function becomes not derivable. And in all other conditions, f of x plus of minus g of x is derivable, and f of x into g of x and f of x by g of x both are derivable. Okay. Next criteria, f of x is derivable and g of x is non derivable. Means any one of the functions, either f of x or g of x, is non derivable. Then how about f of x plus or minus g of x? Then definitely this is not derivable and this is maybe derivable. This also we'll see with our examples. Don't worry, just remember this. Okay. Next, here f of x is non-derivable and g of x is also non-derivable. Then f of x plus or minus g of x may be derivable, and f of x plus into g of x or f of x by g of x may be derivable. This table is very, very important. Try to remember this table. Okay. Now let us see all these conditions one by one, except first condition. Okay, it's possible. Let us see first condition also. If not, just start from whatever the condition it is. Okay, if you want, I will explain f of x plus g of x, every condition. but I hope this anyhow, if both conditions are if both functions are derivable, anyhow addition or subtraction or multiplication and division all are derivable, you know already. So no need, just let us see the derivable and non-derivable only. Okay, let us start with the examples. Note down, just 1-2 minutes I will wait. These are very important. Note down please. Okay, now I am erasing. So next, let us see with the examples whatever the conditions I am saying are satisfied or not. So first example, cos x plus mod x. So here we know that cos x is derivable but mod x is non-derivable. So cos x is derivable, mod x is non-derivable. So what is there? Let us see what is the addition of these two functions, that is cos x plus mod x, is whether it is derivable or non-derivable. Anyhow, so first let us see f of x, because here mod x is there. So f of x, let us consider like this. When x is greater than 0, when x is less than 0. Okay. So x greater than 0 means positive x. So I am getting here cos x plus x. Okay. X less than 0 means negative x. So cos x minus x. Okay. Now let us differentiate this there itself. So f dash x is equal to. So here the conditions are same. X greater than 0, x less than 0. Okay. Now if I am taking differentiate, d by dx of cos x is minus sin x and d by dx of x is plus 1. In the same way, d by dx of cos x is minus sin x and d by dx of minus sin x is minus x is minus 1. So now let us see f dash of 0 plus means right hand derivative. Right hand derivative means here we should take sin 0. Sin 0 is 0 and here we are getting 1. Yes, and f dash of 0 minus means here minus sin 1, that is minus 1 and minus 1. Sorry, 0, sin 0 is 0 and minus 1 is minus 1. So here f dash of 0 plus is 1 and f dash of 0 minus is minus 1. So here this is RHD and this is LHD. So here LHD is not equal to RHD such that our function is non-derivable. Understood? So when one function is derivable plus other function is non-derivable, then we get our answer as non-derivable. Understood? Why? Because our RHD is plus 1 and our LHD is minus 1 in our example. That's why RHD is not equal to LHD. So derivable plus non-derivable is equal to non-derivable. Okay? This is our answer. Next example. Let us see for multiplication. Next example, x mod x means x into mod x. Okay. So now here also let us define the function when x greater than 0 and then x less than 0. So when x greater than 0, x into mod x becomes x again. So x into mod x becomes minus x. So that is equal to x into x is x square, that is equal to minus x square. Okay. So now let us take f dash x. F dash x of x square is 2x. Same when x is greater than 0. And minus x square is minus 2x when x less than 0. Okay. I hope up to here everybody understood. Now let us see the f dash of 0 plus and 0 minus for this also. F dash of 0 plus 2 into 0 is 0. And in the same way, f dash of 0 minus 2 into 0 is also 0. Okay. So here our RHD is 0 and our LHD is also 0. So here LHD is equal to RHD. So our function is derivable. So derivable into non-derivable. This is maybe derivable. Means not always derivable, but derivable, but chances of derivability is there. That is the meaning of may be derivable. Okay, and I have proved that with this example. I hope now everybody understood. Yes, now let us move to our next example. Okay, next example, very important. I hope this question is asked in some competitive exam in our IIT JEE, some year, I don't remember that year. So now let us see. So now let us see one more condition, non-derivable plus non-derivable. First let us complete this, afterwards we'll go for our problem given in previous years. So non-derivable plus non-derivable is equal to may be derivable. Let us see whether this is satisfied or not. So now non-derivable, I am taking my function as f of x is equal to sin of mod x, and we clearly know that this is not derivable at x is equal to 0. Yes, yes, this is not derivable at x is equal to 0, and g of x is equal to mod x. This is also not derivable at x is equal to 0. Why? Because we are getting a sharp corner. Already I have explained yesterday in my graph. So this is the graph of y is equal to mod x. Okay. So graph of y is equal to mod x will be like this. At x we are at x is equal to 0. We are getting a sharp corner. So this is the graph of y is equal to mod x. So this is not derivable. In the same way, sin x, sin of mod x is also not derivable at x is equal to 0. Why? Because LHD and RHD are not same for sin of mod x. Okay. So why? Because one time we'll get sin x, sin 0 is 1, and minus sin 0 is minus 1. So minus 1 is not equal to 1. So it is also not derivable at x is equal to 0, and this is also not derivable at x is equal to 0. But if I subtract these two, so I am taking one more function h of x is equal to sin of mod x minus mod x. Then let me see whether this is derivable. Is derivable at x is equal to 0. Okay, let me see whether this is derivable at x is equal to 0 or not. So when we open the mod, so okay, one more function I am taking, capital F of x is equal to. So when I open the mod, this is plus sin x. So sin x minus x at x greater than 0, and minus sin x plus x. Why? Because minus mod becomes modulus value becomes minus, and already minus is there. Minus of minus becomes plus. So when x less than 0, the value is minus sin x plus x. So now let us see f dash x. Take capital F dash. Why? Because small f of x is that one. So f dash x is equal to, so d by x of sin x is cos x minus 1, same at x less than 0, and minus sin x is nothing but minus cos x plus 1 when x less than 0. Sorry, when x greater than 0 here, and when x less than 0. Okay, now let us see f dash of 0 plus. Okay, means cos 0 is 1 minus 1 is 0, and f dash of 0 minus is nothing but 1 minus 1. Here also cos 0 is 1 minus 1 is nothing but minus 1 plus 1. Here also we are getting 0. So this is RHD and this is LHD. So RHD and LHD are equal. So we are getting this function as derivable at x is equal to 0. I hope everybody understood. Yes. So this is how we have to prove that when non-derivable plus non-derivable may be derivable. Very, very important. Okay. Now let us see our last problem in this session. Very easy. Okay, and I will stop with this problem. Last problem in this session. Okay. Somewhat. Which of the following functions, is differentiable at x is equal to 0. So here options are given. Option A, cos of mod x plus mod x. Option B, cos of mod x minus mod x. Option C, sin of mod x plus mod x. Option D, sin of mod x minus mod x. Okay, already previously only we have derived that sin of mod x minus mod x is differentiable. But let us see whether cos of mod x plus mod x and cos of mod x minus mod x are differentiable or not. Cos of mod x is nothing but cos of plus x or cos of minus x. Cos of minus theta is also cos theta. So no need of. So here we can get cos x plus x, if not plus or minus x. Okay. So here also we'll get cos x plus or minus x. Yes, these two are not derivable. Why? Because mod x is not derivable here, and cos of mod x is also only cos x is derivable. Derivable plus not derivable is not derivable. Already we know that. So this is not derivable. So here also cos x. If I take mod x here, cos x minus x, this is also not derivable. This is not derivable. This is derivable, and this is minus non derivable. So derivable minus non derivable is non derivable. So this one, sin of mod x plus mod x. This only we have to see now. So let us see this. Sin of mod x plus mod x. So sin of mod x plus mod x. So f of x is equal to, so when I take both are plus, then both are plus, both are minus, both are minus. Okay. Now when x is greater than 0, when x is less than 0. So f dash x. F dash x, d by dx of cos sin x is cos x plus 1, and d by dx of this is minus cos x minus 1. Okay, when x less than 0, sorry, when x greater than 0 and when x less than 0. So let us see f dash of 0 plus and f dash of 0 minus. F dash of 0 plus is equal to, so cos 0, 1 plus 1 is 2. F dash of 0 minus, so here minus 1 is minus 2. So that is RHD and this is LHD. Both are not equal. So this is also non-differentiable. So only this is differentiable. Understood? So let us see whether that is also differentiable or not. Okay? Just 2 minutes. So sin of mod x minus mod x. So this is okay. F of x is equal to, again the same I am writing without mod. Why? Because I hate mod, I don't want mod here. So I am writing sin x minus x when x greater than 0, and here minus sin x plus x. Why? Because minus already is there, minus of minus becomes plus. So when x less than 0. So differentiation again, f dash x is equal to, so sin x is cos x and minus x is minus 1, then x greater than 0, and here minus cos x plus 1 when x less than 0. Okay, so now f dash of 0 plus and f dash of 0 minus. F dash of 0 plus is equal to, so cos 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So f dash of 0 minus, so here also minus cos 0 is nothing but minus 1 plus 1. Here also we are getting 0. This is RHD, this is LHD. So both are equal. So we are getting this is differentiable. Okay, with this let us stop our today's class and let us continue in our next video. Students, I hope you are following my videos. So if you like my videos, please try to share my videos with your friends and subscribe my channel. Like, share, comment. Thank you.